I'm a big believer of two things, of routine and of planning. Of routine, again, if you know me, you'll probably know my ideal week. And so I have mapped out what an ideal week looks like. Now, I'm very extreme, and I know that. My ideal week starts at 5:45 in the morning, end up at 10 o'clock at night. And I've really planned in detail what I want to do, including my morning routine, my evening routine, my exercise, and so on. I'm very extreme. And then I'm a big believer of planning, and every week, again, if you've known me for a while, you know my weekly plan. Every week I sit down and I plan my week in detail. But as Mike Tyson said, and I love the expression, everyone's got a plan until they get punched in the face. Bonjour, this is Cyril from Work Smarter, Live Better. In this video, I want to talk about planning when you're traveling. TK and I are at the moment in an amazing place called the Dolomites. So you might be able to see behind me the beauty of it. And then if I can turn around, I mean, just the surrounding, it is, this place, I'm being careful not to fall, this place is unbelievable, the beauty of this place. And so we've set out for a week to discover. It's the first time in the Dolomites, we've never been. It's in Italy, and it's probably one of the most spectacular mountains that I've ever seen. And so we spent already 2 or 3 days walking. We got another 3 or 4 days. We've just slept in a refuge, loved every minute of it. But when you're out of, for me, when I'm out of home, all my routine and planning are completely out of whack. And I've got this question quite often from the leader I train. The leader quite often asks me and says, Cyril, I understand the logic of your ideal week, of your planning when you are at home in the office, but what happened when you're traveling? Everything get out of whack. You get punched in the face. That's kind of the idea that they share with me. And so a few advice that I have, and again, I've experimented and it's not perfect, but I've got 3 things that I suggest. My first one is what I call self-care. You need to be really intentional about self-care even when you're traveling. For me, there are a few things in self-care. The first one is sleep. Very intentional about what time I go to bed, what time I wake up, and I think about it in advance. I'm really trying to plan that in advance in my calendar about this, the sleep, so important. Second is about exercise. Again, when I'm traveling on business, really, if I'm not intentional about my exercise, even if it's 15 minutes, it doesn't happen. I don't think I need to be very intentional here in the Dolomite. Yesterday we walked about 25,000 steps, the day before the same. So I don't think there's any issue about this one. And the third one for me, again, that's very personal, is learning, making sure that I at least read 10-15 minutes per day to learn something. They're the 3 things for me I'm very intentional. It could be very different for you, but that's the first thing I suggest. The second thing is ruthlessly prioritizing. I sit down every week when I'm traveling, whether I'm traveling or not, and I think about my big rocks, I think about the thing I need to do, and I look at how much time I'm going to have available. So I look at my calendar, I look at all the meetings that I have, the training that I'm doing, and I say, how much time honestly do I have available for this? And I prioritize, which is I decide what I'm going to do and what I'm not going to do. And the third advice is to be so intentional with your time. I find that if I don't book meeting with myself in my calendar, so I think a week in advance, I'm ruthlessly prioritizing, and I actually block very specific meeting with myself in my calendar in the slot that I'm available to do the work. So for example, in this traveling, we have days, so today is going to be less walking, we're going to have a day in a hotel and so on. I have a few things to do for work that I have planned there. Next week I'm spending a few hours in the lounge. I'm being very intentional about what I'm doing. And again, when I'm traveling for business is exactly the same. If I don't block it, and it's not a work time, I'm really specific about what I need to do. This is this week, Work Smarter, Live Better tip. What happened? How do you organize yourself when you are traveling? We are about to set for an unbelievable day. Continue walking down there, back up, going down the other side. This place is unbelievable. You have a lovely day. À bientôt.